As we know, Francis Ngannou's ex-coach Fernand Lopez and current coach Eric Nicksick have not been on good terms, as I covered in previous videos. Both coaches had a small exchange via Twitter when Eric Nicksick believed Lopez broke the gym code by releasing sparring footage of Ciryl Gane getting the better of Ngannou. However, it seems as though the two have overcome their disagreement, as Fernand Lopez posted a video where he and Nicksick shared a moment hugging it out together backstage after Ngannou's victory over Ciryl Gane this past weekend. The caption read, "Congratulations, Extreme Couture, Francis Ngannou, and Eric, one of the best in the game." Eric responded, "Respect, coach, safe travels home, and good luck with your team and your fighters. You guys are doing an exceptional job." Francis Ngannou said he had entered the Ciryl Gane fight with multiple tears on his knee 25 days prior to the match. He mentioned that doctors advised him not to enter the fight in his condition because it could cause irreversible damage, but he still chose to face Gane. Check it out.
It was pretty bad. I had a grade 3 MCL, I have a damaged ACL and a damaged MPFR, and that was 25 days ago.
Outside of your wrestling, and I think in one of the later rounds, you actually swept him. You were on the bottom and you swept him and got top position. So
actually, that leg was hurting because I was trying to hold his leg with my right leg, and that was the leg that was hurting. To manage, trying to use body position and to get there.
You need surgery at all?
I think so.
How hurt were your knees when you were fighting? Was there any point during the fight where you felt like you may not be able to continue with the knees?
No, that I might not be able to continue, but I was like very stable, like trying to like hold position, don't move too much. I didn't want to sleep or something. Just the idea of like sleeping or getting kicked on that knee was so scary. Basically, like I saw the doctor on Tuesday to clear me, and he wasn't very optimistic about it, but I still decided to move on.
What kind of advice did the doctor and your team give you leading up to it regarding the injury?
Well, my team was by my side, regardless whatever I decided to do, that's what they said. But the doctor said he wouldn't recommend me that because I can have a irreversible damage. That was he said, yes, irreversible, something like that, if I get kicked on that knee. So that's why like I couldn't switch my stand.
How does your knee feel now after the fight?
I don't care about how it feels. I know what I was putting myself into, and if I needed to leave that leg in that octagon and get out with the win, I would have done it.
As far as his future plans with the UFC and his current contract disputes, he said, "It's not simply money, obviously. Money is a part of it, but it's also the terms of the contract that I don't agree with. I don't feel like it's fair. I don't feel like I'm a free man. I don't feel like I've been treated good. It's unfortunate that I have to be in this position, that I have to say that. I feel like everyone should have the right to claim for what's best for them. At the end of the day, we put a lot of work for this job and we take a lot on our body to make it happen so we can have a fair and square deal." As far as Jon Jones' thoughts about the fight between the two heavyweights, he said, "If this is the apex of heavyweight fighting, I'm excited about it. Got some more records to break. I love how everyone gets so impressed with the new guy, LOL." Dominic Reyes responded to that comment and said, "Poor guy. At the end of the day, he's home alone in the basement writing mean messages. Get better, bro." Jamal Hill also commented and said, "Sounds good from the sideline. Shut the fuck up and sign a contract." Francis Ngannou's coach Eric Nicksick was interviewed by MMA Junkie and said that he wasn't thrilled at all that Francis was going to face Gane with a bad knee, but ultimately had to respect his fighter's wish. He said, "I was a nervous wreck. I think a lot of the things that my head was telling me was to pull out of the fight, and I just didn't like the way that the knee injury was and the situation that the opponent that we had with the particular injury that we had. Obviously, we did want to get into some wrestling, but I didn't know how we were going to be able to wrestle without having the cardio the last 3.5 weeks, as well as the stability of the knee, and I've just got to give all the credit to Francis. That guy's willpower, his mental capacity, what he wanted to do, he just unwavered the entire camp. We got word from a second opinion doctor out here in LA that he was adamant that Francis should pull out. He thought that he could ultimately lose 1.5 to 2 years after a full knee reconstruction surgery if that leg would have gone wrong. Something would have gone wrong. So we got that word last Friday. We had practice that day, so we all met at the UFC Performance Institute, and that's kind of when I just said, dude, what are we doing here? I love you, bro. You're my brother. But as your coach, I do have to tell you what I think is right, and this is what I feel is right in this situation. But if you as the fighter say that you're gonna fight, I'm going to have your back 110%. But I can't live with myself without telling you how I truly feel. This isn't about anything other than your safety and your legacy, in my opinion." So we agreed upon what we were gonna do was, we're going to come to California Fight Week, and we were gonna meet with a doctor out here in LA the moment we landed. We went right to his office and basically waited outside, and he came out, and I could tell by his guy's face, I'm like, oh, we're fighting. Once we knew that, I didn't bring up his knee up once. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't want to talk about it anymore because that, as far as I was concerned, was behind us. We're going to fight with what we've got. Right away when I saw Gon's reactions to the ground control, his defensive things, I knew we had something there. It was actually funny at the end of round 3. I was walking in the corner and I was putting the stool down and I looked at Francis and I go, we've got something now, don't we? And Francis shook his head and was like, we sure do. I was like, all right, let's get back to it then. So by being able to score that takedown in round 3, I really wanted a lot of level change motion because I knew that the level changes now had some validity. He had to worry about getting taken down. So that should open up some more of our strikes, meaning the overhand or the level change feints to overhands, as well as again, our ground game stuff. So we got right back to it in round 4, and then obviously in round 5, there was that sequence with the sweep. But we knew that. We knew if we could keep him on the ground, that we had a path to victory then. And finally, Henry Cejudo was asked about the event between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno after their third encounter. Cejudo feels that Deiveson could have performed better and doesn't feel it's a very good idea for him to face Moreno in Mexico, as he offered to on the mic after his victory over Moreno. Henry said, 4 rounds to 1. Brandon Moreno only won that second round, but this is why I told him, you've got to be careful, dude. That's why when he had mentioned Mexico City, I'm like, no. He throws one punch and the crowd goes wild. I was like, no, you're the champ now. You pick. So that's why it's going to be Ismael's job to make sure that he takes this thing to Brazil, and we're gonna make it happen. We saw how they had the scorecard. Deiveson knocked him down almost in every round. That's a 10-9 automatically. Ironically, I'm gonna have to give Deiveson a B+, and the only reason I give him a B+ is because there's so much room for him to get better. So we're gonna watch the fight tonight and be like, these are the areas that if you become more aggressive or you start seeing him more, it's going to take it to a whole other level where I say you're not going to be going to a decision, a split decision. You're going to be stopping them, because that's the goal. The goal is not to win. The goal is to start killing these dudes, like put them away. There's no doubt.
As always, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button for me. If you're new, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date. Thanks for watching.